It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Trappe and Brewdog. It's a bottle of their Practice What You Preach. It's a 10% ABV, 330 milliliter bottle. It's got the Trappe Trappist logo on the bottle because it was actually brewed at Trappe. Brewdog, I mean, in normal circumstances, you would have Trappe at the top and Brewdog at the bottom. If the beer was brewed, of course, it was brewed by Trappe, so really it should be Trappe at the top, Brewdog at the bottom. But apart from that, it's a quadruple with Scottish heather honey. It's 10% ABV. There's a look at the bottle cap. I'm quite excited by this. I like Trappe's beers. Brewdog for me have been on a journey all of their own. It's interesting that this brewery from the Netherlands, this Trappist brewery from the Netherlands, have brewed this collaboration with Brewdog in this kind of time, in this kind of 2022 year where a lot's gone on. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. I actually picked this up in Brewdog Swansea. So I was in Swansea recently recording Where to Drink Craft Beer in Swansea, and we had a little look in Brewdog. Didn't record in Brewdog because their music, you could hear their music from like 3 streets over, blasting their music. It's interesting because Swansea Brewdog is the only, what do they call it? It's not a chain of Brewdog bars. It's I can't think of that. It'll come to me. That name for when you kind of like you use the company's name and it very much looks like a Brewdog bar, but it's what's the word for it? It's on the tip of my tongue. You basically rent and you kind of, you rent all of their names. Anyway, apart from all that, the music was blaring in Brewdog Swansea, so I couldn't record, but I found this in the fridge. It's a 2 to 3 finger, slightly off-white head. It looks like a quadruple. Dark, very, very kind of dark looking ale, but almost kind of, there's almost like a cherry red colour to it as well. The best way to describe it would be mahogany, like a mahogany colour. So I currently got the word merchandise stuck in my head. Franchise! Got it! It's a franchise. It's the one and only Brewdog franchise that you will probably see in the whole world. They did it in Swansea. They stopped it at Swansea. Apparently, it was hard work. So it's the only franchised Brewdog pub in the world is in Swansea. That's where I bought this beer. Got it. Finally, I had the word merchandise stuck in my head and I couldn't find franchise. Aroma on this slightly hazy looking beer then. It's a quadruple. Little kick of alcohol, little kick of wood, dark biscuit malts, plum, fig, prune. This is proper beer. This is, if you're near a Brewdog bar, pop your head in. See if you can find this. Have a look on their website. Have a look on Brewdog's website. I don't really do websites. I'm more, there's a bottle, I'll buy that bottle. That's how I kind of work. I'm a little bit old school. As I run a YouTube channel. It's weird, isn't it? But I'm weirdly not kind of like buying stuff from websites. I don't know why. I have a panic attack when I buy something from eBay. You know, I'm that type of person. I'd rather grab it with my hands, put it on a bar, give the person the money, take what I bought. That old school way of buying stuff. So if you're near a Brewdog bar or have a look on their website, try and find this, because even in the aroma of this beer, I'm thinking, oh, this is just delightful. Absolutely delightful. They mentioned Scottish heather honey. You definitely get honey in the beer. But you also get a kick of alcohol. You also get lots of malts. You get plum and fig and prune. And it's just brilliant. Let's taste it. Cheers. Oh, yes. Stone the crows. Stone the crows. That is one of the finest quadruples I have ever tasted. That is tremendous. You're getting the honey. You're getting an oakiness. You're getting a woodiness. You're getting plum, fig, prune, biscuit malts. A lovely bitterness on the back end. It's like a residual, it like sticks to the back of the throat. It hangs around a long time. It's tremendous beer. It really is. Stone the crows. Again, I'm going to mention it one more time. This beer wasn't brewed at Brewdog. So you don't get that kind of Brewdog water kind of... Brewdog's beers are a bit like Marston's beers, where they have their own water quality, and the water quality comes through. But in Marston's case, it's Burtonization. It's a farty water, a very hard water. That in the 1990s, there was lots of breweries around the country resembling that Marston's hard water. They were trying to make that Burtonization happen in their beers. Why? I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's really, really terrible. I hate it. I hate that horrible Burtonized hard water taste. I hate it in beer. In terms of Brewdog's beers, they also, when they moved their brewery from their original site to Ellen, for whatever reason, because I don't think it was much of a distance, you know you're drinking a Brewdog beer. There's something about a Brewdog beer, and I've looked at the yeast, I've looked at the hops, it can't be the malt, it must be the water. It must be Brewdog's water that gives you that kind of Brewdoggy taste. This beer is not brewed at Brewdog. This beer is brewed at Le Trappe in the Netherlands. And you can tell. You can tell. This is another level of quality. This is another step up in terms of what Brewdog know in brewing. They're still babies. They are still babies in brewing. Brewdog have only been going about 12 or 30, maybe 15 years at a push. Brewdog have been brewing beers. This company here, Le Trappe, has been brewing beers for well over 100 years. They know how to brew. They really do. And you can taste it. You can smell it. You can see it in the glass. Look at the lacing. Look at it. Look at that beer. This is probably the finest beer I've ever tried with the Brewdog name on a bottle. In fact, I'm going to come out and say, yes, this is the best beer that I've ever had with the name Brewdog on the bottle. This is tremendous stuff. This is nectar of the gods. This is liquor of the utmost of qualities. This come through. It went through at the till at £5. £5 I paid for this. I would be happy to pay £10 for this beer. It's absolutely extraordinary. The Belgian / Dutch Belgian candied sugars coming through. The Scottish heather honey that Brewdog probably packed in their suitcase and sent to Le Trappe. Just wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. I'm struggling for words for this one, just out of just how fantastic this beer is. Smells, the aroma with that Scottish heather honey is just, it's just divine. It's just, I cannot come up with any more words to describe just how blooming good this beer is. I'm in love with it. I love it. If ever I see this beer out in the wild again, in fact, here's my message to Le Trappe. If Le Trappe and Brewdog can find a way to reproduce this at this level of quality, and if you manage to put it in supermarkets around Europe, it will be the most exciting, tasty beer that you'll ever have from Brewdog and Le Trappe Brewery for that matter. This is just wonderful. I'm going to rate it. Smells good, looks good, tastes good. The best beer I've ever had with a Brewdog name on it. If I had more fingers, I would give it a bigger rating. I only have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.